Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Let's get right into it. You know what you clicked for. This is the final mock draft. We have a day, less than 24 hours before this mock draft becomes a reality. I'm not getting any of these draft picks right. I'm not going to justify any of these draft picks, and I'm honestly going to get crazy because the draft is going to be insane. Honestly, the top 10 is so fluid on these players. I think there isn't a generational talent in this draft other than a guy maybe like, I don't know, Evan Neal seems like a freakish talent. Trevor Pennick is not, which my Seahawks are rumored to pick him, and if they do, you will be seeing a video of me getting very, very angry. I will be at work during the draft, so I won't be able to react in live time, which is kind of disappointing, but you know, you got to get that money. This videos aren't making me any money right now, so I got to make money somehow, and we move forward into the draft. Let's get right into it. I am going to get this started real quick, and we have a lot of picks to get into. I have it pulled up on my screen. You probably see me on the top left, top right. I don't know where I'm gonna put myself for editing wise, but let's get right into this. The Jaguars, listen, it's a tough situation right now. I think Aiden Hutchinson is that guy, but a lot of people are mocking a guy named Travon Walker who doesn't even have a picture. I think he goes number 1 overall. There's a lot of smoke and fire. This doesn't feel like a Mac Jones situation. A quarterback you could put a lot of smoke towards. I don't think this is a Mac Jones situation. I think the Jaguars are going to Jaguars themselves. And Aiden Hutchinson is an easy pick for the Lions. I mean, he's a Michigan guy. I think it's a dream pick for the Lions to get Aiden Hutchinson. In the past couple drafts, they've gotten kind of lucky with the previous picks before him. And they ended up getting, what was it, Penei Sewell last year, and they were super stoked. I think they end up getting the same kind of reaction with Aiden Hutchinson. Now, with the Texans, I do hear a lot of rumors for Derek Stingley Jr., and looking at their background with the front office and everything that's going on. Now, this is more of a prediction, not what the teams should do, because I would have probably had Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau probably number 1. And a lot of the positions that the Texans need are basically the entire franchise, except for quarterback, unless they want to go with Davis Mills moving forward. And I don't think they're going to reach for a guy like Malik Willis. Now, knowing their Patriots background, I do see a secondary player probably getting picked here, and potentially a Charles Cross. Now, Ahmad Gardner, Derek Stingley Jr., or I could even see Kayvon Thibodeau potentially being the guy that comes in here. I'm going to actually go with Ahmad Gardner. I'm hearing a lot of rumors that they're going to end up wanting to get him, and I'm going to just stick with Ahmad Gardner at number 3. Almost one of the biggest surprises. Now, the betting favorite right now is Derek Stingley Jr., and I could flip between the two, but I'm going to manifest Derek Stingley having a slight fall because of his injury concerns. Now, the Jets are a very interesting team. I could easily see them trading around and potentially moving these picks. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ahmad Gardner is the guy that they end up going with if the Texans go with Derek Stingley Jr., and I could see them going with a lot of positions here. There's a lot of options that they could easily go with, but I definitely think that they'll end up maybe going corner, and it would be Derek Stingley Jr. Getting back-to-back top 5 corners is a bold prediction, but I'm going back and forth, and I think Ika Mekonwu just honestly feels like a New York Giant to me. This feels like a team that's going to go with them. And Ecom is a powerful runner. They're going to try to give Saquon Barkley the best support that he's had in probably years. And I think he's going to have a breakout year again. And Ika Mekonwu looks like potentially the best tackle in this draft. I could honestly see even Evan Neal going in this position. But Andrew Thomas, Ika Mekonwu potentially moving to guard, getting rid of, Nate Solder's contract and everything. I think that they're going to move forward. And the Panthers are going to definitely take quarterback. I've kind of grown on this now. Charles Cross is rumored to be the guy that they end up potentially giving into. And I think, honestly, a lot of people are going to project potentially Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis going here. But I'm going to stick with Charles Cross, not going past him. I'm going Charles Cross here. There's a lot of smoke with them wanting Charles Cross there. I don't think they're going to let him pass that point. Now, with the Giants at number 7, they have a lot of options. I think they end up going with Kayvon Thibodeau. He's just that big of a personality. And a lot of people have Kayvon potentially falling out of the top 10. I just don't see it happening. I do believe that if he's on the board at number 7, they won't let him pass. Even though he's a big personality, I think he's going to fit the New York market and be someone that can really be there with Leonard Williams and have a pretty decent defensive line overall. Now, at number 8, I have a lot of options for the Falcons. The Falcons have a ton of options, and I've heard a lot of rumors of Jordan Davis going at number 8, and I think that it'd be a pretty solid pick. I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan Davis could be picked around top 3 all the way down to around 26, 27, but I'm going to have Jordan Davis go at number 9, or number 8 actually. And number 9, my Seattle Seahawks. There's so many options here. There's so many things that they could go with. I'm going to manifest something that I really want them to do. Right here, the worst case scenario and what I think they'll end up doing is Jermaine Johnson, which I don't think is a terrible pick, but I could definitely see them making this move, and I do think they need an edge defender. Right here is going to be my first trade. It's going to actually be with... Now, this is the first trade. It is a very rough sketch, but I'm not going into these later rounds. The basic move is Deebo Samuel for the 10th overall pick. It gets accepted. I do think this is going to happen, and the Seattle Seahawks former pick actually ends up with the 49ers, which gives me a lot of pain because that's from the, everyone knows, the Jamal Adams trade, which I don't want to talk about. I really don't want to talk about. Now here, things get very interesting for the 49ers. They have a lot of options that they could go with. Now, honestly, if I were the San Francisco 49ers, I would potentially try to trade out of this pick as well and get a guy like Tyler Linderbaum. All the good corners are off the board, and I could see maybe a Kyle Hamilton getting drafted here. There's also Trent McDuffie. A lot of good corners have already gone off the board, and I think if I were to pick a guy that would end up being the best fit for them, I could see Chris Olave being the first guy off the board. Now, Jamison Williams is a popular pick to be in the top 10, which allows for a lot of different options. Washington potentially could end up losing a guy like Terry McLaurin, but I don't think they're going to make that move. I think Kyle Hamilton is the guy that they end up going with, or potentially, now I'm looking over, a Devin Lloyd could potentially be here. Nakobe Dean could be potentially picked here, but I'm going to stick with, man, I'm going back and forth, honestly, and I'm really struggling right now. I'm going to make a panic move. I don't know who to go with. I do not know who to go with. I'm going to go with Devin Lloyd. I don't know. They want a linebacker. I don't think they're going to go quarterback. I don't think any of these quarterbacks are going to make a big move. Potentially, I could see Malik Willis going there, but a lot of these quarterbacks I'm not going to end up going with too quickly. Now, edge defender, I have George Karlaftis probably going here. I wouldn't be surprised if they went cornerback with a Trent McDuffie or something like that, but I'm going to stick with a guy like Kyle Hamilton potentially being here, but I'm going George Karlaftis. Easy pick. And with Evan Neal falling as far as he did, the Texans are not going to pass him up. I don't imagine that they're going to pass him up. And then right here, you get the Baltimore Ravens, who get their dream pick probably. And I wouldn't be surprised if they went with Devontae Wyatt. Seems like a popular guy to go here. And Kyle Hamilton easily could go here as well, but they just signed, what was it, Marcus Williams from the Saints. I don't see them going there. Potentially a Jamison Williams, another speedster right there with Marquise Brown. Drake London could be a potential option here when they need another wide receiver. And I think I'm going to just go to pick 15 here. And I'm going to go Devontae Wyatt potentially. And with the 15th overall pick, the Eagles are easily going to take Jamison Williams or Drake London or potentially a linebacker. And I'm going back and forth. I'm going to Nakobe Dean. This is a really rough mock draft. I make this very clear. I think that these guys are going to value defense a lot more than these wide receivers. And I think these wide receivers could be off the board a lot quicker. But I don't know. I think Chris Olave, the way he played in Ohio State, fits a lot more what Kyle Shanahan's going to want. Potentially a Treylon Burks. But I don't know. This is very rough. Make fun of me all you want. We'll look back at this and laugh. But I just wanted to get a final mock draft out there. I'm dealing with a ton of finals and studying, so my brain is already cooked. But thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Leave a sub if you're seeing my videos for the first time. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful day, and go kill it at these finals.